Good morning, students. In previous class, we have discussed protista. Now, today we will have to discuss about the protozoal protista. Means protista who is not autotrophs. Among this particular protozoal protista, some are holozoic, some are parasitic, and a few are saprobic also. And this particular protista has been also been divided into different subgroups on the basis of their different shape, different type of locomotory organ, or different type of habitat, or digenetic or monogenetic life. Number first, that is called Zooflagellata. Zooflagellata. Here, zoo, animal like, it means they are not photosynthetic. Flagellata, it means their locomotory organ is flagella. Their locomotory organ is flagella. Okay? It has been observed that an individual having this type of flagella is present, and their life is digenetic. It is important to know the meaning of digenetic. Digenetic means the individual who leads their life or to complete their life cycle with the help of two types of individual. Here the primary host is the human being, and secondary host is the testis fly. Testis fly. With the help of these two hosts, they complete their life cycle. It is very much essential that why a human being is the primary host. You must know that the primary host is those individual where the individual reproduce sexually. If the individual reproduce by asexual, by budding, by fragmentation, by binary fission, by multiple fission only, then we can't say that they are the primary host. So it is hard and fast that the primary host is those individuals where the individual reproduce sexually. It causes a disease that is called sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness, and it infects the CNS of the human being. CNS of the human being. So this particular zooflagellates, this particular sleeping sickness causing individual, that is called Trypanosoma gambiense. Trypanosoma gambiense. Trypanosoma gambiense. It is the parasitic protozoal protista. Second example of the same group, which is also disease causing, is Leishmania donovani. Leishmania donovani, and it is also digenetic because their secondary host is the sandfly. And it is one of the causative agent of the Kala Jar. Kala Jar. It is also called leishmaniasis on the basis of this name. But Kala Jar, and this Kala Jar may be mainly infect the internal part of the body, and it causes high fever and so many others. Thirdly, the example of this particular zooflagellate is the Giardia intestinalis. Giardia intestinalis. It is also parasite, but it is monogenetic, and it causes duodenal ulcer or diarrhea like that. It go inside the intestine of the human being and causes different type of the wound inside alimentary canal, and it may be the cause of the duodenal ulcer also. Other individuals like Trichonympha vaginalis, it is also very much common disease causing organism, that is called Trichonympha vaginalis. It is mainly found in the female, in the vaginal zone, and it is also monogenetic. If this individual is present in the vagina of the female being, that causes the frothy, stinking secretion, itching behavior also. Now the second part of this protozoal protista is the Sarcodina. Sarcodina. Second part of this particular, second subgroup of this particular protozoal protista is the Sarcodina. In previous, the Euflagellata, all the examples, that is Trichozyme, Trypanosoma gambiense, that is the Leishmania donovani, that is the Giardia intestinalis, that is the Trichonympha vaginalis, so many. All have flagella, and most of them are either parasitic or symbiotic. Some are symbiotic also. It is not essential that all euflagellates are parasitic. Some are symbiotic also, just like leads their life in the wood cockroach and others. But all have flagella, so they are kept into the euflagellata. Understand? Now, Sarcodina. Sarcodina, the individual who locomote with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia, and generally lobopodia, by lobopodia. Lobopodia. We have discussed in previous lecture that how this pseudopodia is formed, and just I have given you an idea about the solation and gelation, the process of formation of pseudopodia, and what type of the pseudopodia is called lobopodia. Just thumb like blunt pseudopodia is called lobopodia. In case of amoeba, one of the example of the Sarcodina is the Amoeba proteus. Amoeba proteus. It is one of the very much common sarcodines, and it has this type of structure. It has been assumed that amoeba is immortal, and it has cytoplasmic streaming, and due to this streaming they are in condition to form pseudopodia. It has been observed that the outer cytoplasm is plasma gel, and the inner cytoplasm is called plasma sol. Plasma gel, this name indicates that the outer cytoplasm is more viscous rather than that of the inner cytoplasm. It has well developed nucleus. Because it is unicellular eukaryotic individual, so it has well developed cell organelles also, and they leads their life in the fresh water, stagnant water, the water where decayed organic matter is present, because they take their food with the help of phagocytosis. and that phagocytosis also takes place with the help of pseudopodia. We have discussed previously. It can reproduce by binary fission in normal condition, if the condition is suitable, if the condition is very much favorable to this individual, then it can divide by binary fission. But whenever an adverse condition will be there, then it form a cyst. It form a cyst around this. And this cystic amoeba has a very much tolerance capacity. They tolerate the complete adverse condition, that is the high temperature, that is the less water, that is the dry conditions, all can survive. And whenever, but they are very much, they are active, inside active, they are inside active, and karyokinesis will be takes place, and whenever the situation condition, the condition will be suitable, then the cyst will removed and a number of amoebae come out. It means they can survive in the adverse condition also. This indicates that amoeba will not die in the adverse condition. Because of that we say that the amoeba is immortal. And whenever their growth is completed, they divide into two parts. In favorable condition, they divide mitotic binary fission, and in the adverse condition they divide multiple fission. Second example is the Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica. It is also parasitic, and it is also monogenetic. Monogenetic means they have no need of the secondary host to transmit this particular individuals, but it will be transmitted by the contaminated water or the contaminated food to the other one organism to another organism, if that particular food will come in contact with the infected fecal matter. And it has been observed that this amoeba Entamoeba histolytica is one of the causative agent of the diarrhea, dysentery, or if their number is very high, then it may be the cause of the duodenal ulcer. What happens? Suppose Entamoeba will be here. They start to take the blood capillaries by phagocytosis, and due to this wound the mucus secretion will be here. Then what happens? The food which will come out without digestion in the more liquefied form, their defecation will be not up to the mark and loose motion will be there, and this causes dehydration also. They can be treated, but if the treatment is late, then it may be the cause of the death of the patient also. Now another Sarcodina, then ciliata. The name indicates that the ciliata means the individual having cilia. It means here we have discussed that the euflagellates, Sarcodina, and third one is the ciliata. It means they have their locomotory organ is the cilia, and the paramecium is the example of this ciliata. Paramecium. Of course, a number of their species are present, just like Paramecium, odatum, etc. So many. But we will have to discuss the typical Paramecium. It is also called sleeper. Its shape is a slipper-like. See here, like this. and it has an such type of structure. It has been observed that the cilia are present around the body. But the cilia at this tip is more larger rather than that of the other parts, and here is also cilia. A well-developed nucleus is present in it. Well-developed nucleus, and their habitat is the fresh water. They lead their life in fresh water. So due to diffusion, what happens? The water will insert inside it to control the osmotic pressure inside it. It has been observed that this type of structure is present. Water will be collected. Suppose water will come here, then it will collected firstly this one, then this one, and this is called contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole. It has been observed that whenever the contractile vacuole is small, they start to move in a particular direction, that is due to streaming movement, and whenever the contractile vacuole will come in contact with this one, they diffuse out and throw water outside it to maintain the osmotic pressure. It has been observed that there is a ciliary movement, and due to this ciliary movement, the food particles will insert inside it. And whenever food particle will be accumulated at this point, they will form a food vacuole and it will be detached. Now this food vacuole also move in the particular streaming movement, and during that what happens? The lysozymes, the primary lysosomes join with this particular food vacuole to form secondary lysosome, and then the digestion will be takes place, and the undigested food material also lay out. And this type of life cycle will be taken by the paramecium. But the paramecium can reproduce both by sexually and asexually. And this is all about the protozoal protista.